Divine greetings, beloveds. Now that this Jupiter in Cancer retrograde is in play, that's 5 planets in retrograde, and we are feeling it. Someone who has Jupiter in Cancer in the first house can definitely tell you how this energy is going to change and transform all of us starting right now. Let's dive in. Welcome, beloveds. I am Tanya Melendez, creator of Chart and Soul Astrology, founder of Cosmic Nomics. And let me share with you 2 big important things. First of all, I'm using Cosmic Nomics right now. I'm working with the planetary hour of Mercury on Mercury Day. So I'm sharing this insight with you very specifically and intentionally. And this is one of the things that I love to share with my clients, with really learning how to work with their energy regardless if it's a retrograde or not. 2, I just made a big post over there on the socials about something that really just, it struck me and I needed to comment on it. So if you want to find out what that is, go on over there. But let me just give you a quick preview. So one of the sisters of that family, not mentioning names, made some comments about how psychics are not working because she hasn't gotten the outcome that she wanted to experience. Now, I am a natural born psychic and have been since I was a sleepwalking child. And I say all of that because, you know, celebrities and other people like to use psychics and astrologers and things so they can get the outcome that they want. But this is deep spiritual work. And the reason I'm sharing this is because a lot of people go to anybody and everybody to get an answer that they want. And I say all this also to say that my channel here on YouTube, I started this almost 20 years ago. My first video is still there, and you could see my transformation. And, you know, even as I travel around the world, even when I was filming the TV show, and you can see nothing has changed. I've been saying the same thing. I, you know, have been talking the same way and being the same person all these years. And I'm so grateful for that. Although I don't even have a big following, I do have a community of people who have been with me since I lived in Chicago, and that's been a very long time. And so why I also wanted to talk today is earlier this week, I did a story about how I'm using this retrograde time to anchor in Sankofa, which is the African go back and get it. This is a beautiful piece that I got from Irie, I'm sorry, jewelry. I will tag her below. I also have an anklet. So this is the 5 Adinka symbols. And so why I'm bringing up this Sankofa energy, the go back and get it, it really aligns with the Mercury retrogrades. Well, actually all 5 of the retrogrades, right? And so the go back and get it for me is really connecting to those virtues and values, reconnecting to my Ma'at principles, remembering those 42 spiritual laws, reminding myself that I am what I see and what I know is what spirit has given to me. And you can ask my clients, you know, one of my clients, we had one session, I remember, and at the end of our session, I mentioned a name. And she's like, I don't know that person. So a few weeks later, she reached out to me and she said, Tanya, that woman was my father's wife, and I never knew that. And she ended up finding her family, a whole nother set of family that was, you know, non-black, that she had known she was mixed, but she didn't know anything. And by me mentioning that name to her, she was able to find her siblings also because of DNA. So one session. And why I'm sharing that is because, you know, when psychics and mediums, or even astrology, which is a science, is demeaned, what it does is make people not trust. And so this is why I'm sharing some of my stories, and why I want you to see that I've been saying the same thing since I started this channel back in, like I said, was it 2018, 2017? You can even see my entire time when I was competing in the International Psychic Challenge, because it was during this time 13 years ago that I was doing that, which leads me to what I wanted to share with you today. So Jupiter goes into a sign every 12 years. So 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I was filming a TV show. I had just turned 40. I remember I was like thinking I was living this life, and spirit took me on a whole nother experience. And this is why I started this out with saying how this Jupiter in Cancer is impacting me and how it can really influence you, because it's also in my first house, which is also where my sun and moon and my Venus and ascending are. I have a Cancer stellium. So all of that energy is getting amplified by Jupiter, which is where it is in an exalted state. This is why I love doing my year ahead readings at this time, because I'm in my exalted state. My energy, my senses are at their highest. The high priestess is in the house. And so that was another reason I felt to speak on this. And I want to leave you with this. So I moved from the coast to the center now of Mexico, and here with my astrocartography, it shifted me a little from a Cancer with the astrocartography into a Gemini, which is also why I'm talking more. I have a book coming out next month. I'm going to be in a wellness workshop. And other things from January, February already booked, because and writing as well. There's a big writers conference coming up, so I'll be talking about all of that and the book as well after we get out of Mercury Retrograde, which is why you haven't heard me mention it yet. So stay tuned for more. But you can tell my energy has shifted here. I'm talking more. You see, I'm being more social because my astrocartography is working for me. So I've moved literally from having a moon ruler to having a Mercury ruler. So my body has had to get readjusted to that, from being that emotional to here. So when I bring my emotional Cancer self, which will never change, in with my astrocartography now, it is allowing me to emotionally connect in such a deeper way. And so this is how I love to use astrology and human design and even tarot, right? I do a year ahead reading for myself. And so every month then I know what my card is. And so this month is the Queen of Wands. And so using and harnessing that energy, right, is really how I get supported and know that or where and how I can utilize not only my tarot profile and archetype, but also my growth symbol. So all of this, I'm sharing all of this is because this is the kind of stuff that I share in the year ahead reading along with your astrology. So you're gonna wanna know how this Jupiter in retrograde and the other 5 retrogrades, and we're gonna have 6 pretty soon, are impacting and influencing you, because I think there's 2 or 3 of them that extend through February, when we then move into the Asian New Year and that metal horse. And so that's why this time of shedding the skin is so important. So, you know, take a peek. If you want to see how I've progressed over the last 12 years, just through my YouTube videos, you can see that. And that's what Cosmic Nautics is. And Cosmic Nautics also, I'll leave you with this, is what supported me to stop drinking. I haven't drank in 10 years. And I shared this when it was the Virgo full moon. I made my declaration to the universe, again, very intentional, using Cosmic Nautics to anchor in that decision. And it was August 22nd, 2015. And the stars were aligned, just like it was for me to go on the TV show. The stars were aligned for me to make that declaration, that promise. And I've never even looked back, beloveds. Like, I've never even craved alcohol, thought about alcohol. Like, that whole Tanya just evaporated. And I mean, I can show you the pictures of me at parties and all of it. And so you know, when you work with the planets and the stars, that's how things really change. Even moving here to Mexico, it will be my 10 years. It'll be this month. Again, I use Cosmic Nautics, beloved. So that's what's in store for you. So go on over there on Instagram and check out what I was talking about over there, and I'll keep talking on this because this is something that's really important and near and dear, and it's something that I talk about in the upcoming book, which is coming out next month. And I'll be, of course, sharing that with you because I'm a keynote speaker. again, using my astrocartography and so much more. So thanks for tuning in and turning on with me. And so what is this bringing up for you, beloved? Where is your psychic sense coming in? What are you feeling, hearing, knowing? It's time, beloveds. The Sankofa is real, regardless of who your ancestors are. It's time to tap back in to that magic. And until next time, beloveds, keep on shining.